The Taylor volleyball season gets started this Saturday here at home against Grace, and I'm joined by the fifth-year head coach, Erin Luthy, to talk about the upcoming campaign for the Trojans. Erin, just mentioned it, your fifth year here at Taylor. Where's the time gone for you here as the head coach of the Taylor volleyball program?
Man, we've been having a blast, and time has flown, that's for sure.
You look at everything that's happened in the spring and now with all the changes with social distancing and masks and everything else that COVID-19 has brought onto us. But a lot of people probably don't think of that affecting a fall sport all the way back into the spring when all of this started. How did that affect you guys without having the spring portion of your calendar year?
Sure. We were about 5 weeks into our spring season, which is a lot of individual training, strength and conditioning, a lot of the work and the time that goes into just really fine-tuning skill areas. And we were about 5 weeks in when we got shut down, and our girls were sent home, obviously, as nationwide students were across college campuses. And it was hard. It was difficult from a standpoint of our training came to a halt. Our girls didn't have access to gyms. They had to do the best they could. Volleyball, you just can't go out in your driveway and shoot hoops. You have to set up a net. You have to have a court, those sort of things. So our girls did an awesome job. They did the best they could with their training. They came back in shape. Once things started to open up across specific states, our girls were able to get back in the gyms. But our focus was really on the focus or the mental side of the game, how we can prepare ourselves. From a mental perspective, how we can train ourselves, increase verticals, things like that we can best be prepared as we come back into this season. So I thought our girls did a really nice job.
Physically, how did you think they came back with everything that they had to kind of hurdles they had to clear both this spring and then this summer?
Sure. Yeah. I thought, honestly, some of the girls came back and it had increased their verticals. Some had been training in the beach. Some had taken upon themselves to do personal training at specific gyms and things like that. A lot of conditioning that they were trying to do on their own. So I think overall, we were rusty from the volleyball perspective coming back because over half of our team had no access to a gym. But I think all in all, our girls did a really nice job of grinding at home and shaking the rust off pretty quickly. We're 3 weeks into practice, and I'm excited about what's to come for sure.
One of the players that's really impressed me in the practices that I've been able to watch is Ryan Cerniak, and she's impressed since she got here to campus just a couple of years ago. But she dealt with some injuries last year that kind of slowed her down a little bit. But then we saw what she could do in that 5-set win for your team over Mount Vernon Nazarene last season. Where is she at right now as she tries to really solidify herself as one of the top right side players in the Crossroads League?
Sure. She's coming back with 2 years of starting experience under her belt. So just her confidence is continuing to soar and growth, the growth that she's experienced. She's healthy right now. Praise the Lord. So she's coming in, she's taking a lot of really nice swings. She's so intelligent. So being able to use a high volleyball IQ and help implement that into her game has been super important for our team, and just excited to see what she has in store. Praying that we can keep her healthy and that we can utilize her and be able to execute our game plans through her abilities and through her IQ in big ways this coming season.
Two other young ladies that have really impressed this fall so far are two of your seniors, and Amanda Adams and Grace Isaacs. What has made them so effective in these early practices?
Sure. They're just stepping up, and their leadership from a senior perspective on the court, just their presence and their ability to bring just kind of that extra fire and competitive nature to the court has been super important as we come in. We've brought a lot of newcomers to the team, so they're setting the stage and the foundation of who we are as a culture, but also who we are as a competitive unit, as a competitive family on the court. Grace is just doing a really nice job. She has an incredibly strong blocking presence for us, as well as hitting presence out of the middle. She's versatile in the routes that she's able to run. And Amanda has just been our steady outside hand for the past 3 years. She stepped up from the beginning and continues to improve, continues to prove her game as a 6 rotation player. So excited to have her on the court. She's earned a spot as our speaking captain for this year. And she's really embracing that role and allowing her voice to be heard in the leadership as well. So yeah, those girls are going to be big contributors this season for sure.
Every senior class is obviously meaningful and important to a head coach and to a program. But this year's senior class probably has a little extra significance for you, since this is the first class that you recruited as a group here to Taylor as the head coach. What's it been like to watch them grow from freshmen all the way up now to their senior season?
Sure. It's my favorite part of the job, is to see growth of who they are as individuals, who they are as students in the classroom, who they are as athletes on our court. But that is my absolute favorite part of this whole gig. Is that we get to watch them grow. We get to be a part of that process. We get to walk alongside them and hopefully mentor them in a way that, helps them develop into the women God has created us to be. And it's fun to see Brooke and Ashley, Amanda and Grace really come into their own, continue to embrace what this journey has meant to them. There are times that I'm sad for them because this time that we're in is very uncertain. There's a lot of chaos and what our season looks like right now with all of the COVID-19 protocols and procedures and regulations. And they have been absolute champs in the process, and they've led well. They've embraced each and every journey and each and every new process and protocol situation that we've had to endure. They've embraced it with grace, and they've embraced it with grateful hearts that we get to play, that we get to have a season, even though it looks different. They're excited to be part of something that's so much bigger than themselves. And I'm just proud of who they are. And I'm proud and excited to see how they're going to continue to lead our team for sure.
You mentioned a bunch of the different things with COVID-19, but one of the big changes is to the schedule, fewer matches overall. The national championship tournament has been moved to the spring, but with the fewer matches also means fewer non-conference matches than you would normally have. So you're jumping right into league play starting on Saturday here at home against Grace. How has that kind of changed things, and maybe had to kind of up the intensity a little bit in these early season practices, knowing there aren't these non-conference matches where you can kind of try things or maybe work some things out or have people kind of work their way back into form?
Sure. Oh, totally. And I think you say it so well, is we don't have time to play around with the lineup. We are hitting the ground running. The grind within practice has been hard. We're trying to, where the first couple weeks we would kind of fine tune and shake off the rust and work on some of those skill areas. We spent the first few days working on skill areas, and now we're working on chemistry. We're working on lineups. We're working on rotations. We're working on, what that first lineup and team is going to look like when we host Grace this Saturday, and I think part of it is we're all in the same boat. All of our conference schools, we're all playing each other for our first match. So, there's reassurance in the sense of, here we go. We're gonna try our best. We're gonna put our best foot forward and get to show off what we've worked so hard for. And the fact that we haven't gotten to play in months is an opportunity to just be thankful and cherish every second of it. But there will be some kinks to work out early on for sure. And I know that our girls are excited about the challenge, also, anticipating what that's going to look like, but very, very thankful. We're thankful for each day we get to practice and pray that we get to play just here in a few days. So.
Last thing, you mentioned all of the uncertainty and schedule changes and all the other stuff that all of us have had to do. Is it nice to be able to have the first 4 matches of the season in a really different season, be here at home? Does that kind of help things, not having to get on a bus and go somewhere? You just kind of show up to the gym that they've been in for the last month or so or a couple of weeks and play volleyball, right?
Oh, for sure. I think that's so helpful with all of the things that are uncertain and all the things that we can't control. The one thing that we can control is that we feel comfortable and we feel confident in our home. And we get to be in Odell every day where, we get to play in front of our own crowd right now with away games, not hosting visiting fans. We will have no crowd at visiting locations right now. So being able to at least be in front of not as many fans, but our home fans, I think is helpful and just brings a little bit of confidence and control into those first few matches where we're still trying to feel things out and work some of those kinks out. We definitely are grateful that it worked out. And I don't know if it was the luck of the draw or how everything fell into place, but we're thankful that we get to start out at home for sure.
Well, Erin, thanks for the time. Best of luck not only on Saturday, but with the rest of the 2020 season as well.
Thank you.
That is Erin Luthy, the Taylor Volleyball head coach, joining me today to stay up to date with everything Taylor Volleyball. Just log on to TaylorTrojans.com.